welcome to Game Trade Media. My name is Christopher Bedell of Greater Than Games, and today we're going to play a game of Sentinel Comics, the role-playing game, with this exciting set of heroes that we just recently made. So, let's meet those heroes.
I'm Rick, and I'm playing Dr. Watches. I am a master of the mystic arts, and also have some invulnerabilities. Yeah.
I'm playing Josiah Lee, also known as Transient. I'm a cyborg thief from the future.
I'm Maggie, and I'm playing Rebel Rouser. I am an exiled alien who was kicked off my home planet for inciting rebellion. And I fight crime in this really cool purple armored suit, and I control the weather.
Neato. I am Natasha, and I'm playing Sin Blocker. She is a human who had an accident, a very nuclear kind of accident, and has had these powers for about 17 years. And about 7 years ago, she was bestowed this awesome weapon called the Star Axiom, which has multiple facets to it, and it's pretty exciting. And she's very strong, but also sensitive.
Exciting.
Yeah.
This is great. This is fun. So I have some quick questions for each of you, for all of you, to kind of lay the scene of where we are, what's going on. Dr. Watches, you taught at a school.
I did.
What happened to that?
So I was an instructor of the occult track, and I started mixing a little more science in with my wizardry.
Yeah.
And it had a little bit of an incident, which is where I now have this invulnerability.
Right. And so the school fired you as a result of that?
They absolutely did. One whole wing was just eliminated.
Okay.
Those tiny details.
Tiny details.
Yeah.
So what have you been doing since then?
So since
Where
then,
do you live?
So I live in a apartment underneath, like, in the city, like underneath, like a old TV repair shop.
Okay.
Because obviously those still exist.
Sure.
And, and I feel like there's been a rise in heroes and incidents where there's more people with abilities like appearing. Yeah. So I've been basically chronicling that information.
Sure.
And where I can help, I do. Which kind of is how we are connected.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I got pulled back in time somehow. Don't know how that happened. And then I got pulled back in time. I was in Nanjing for a while, and then I came over to the United States, went over to Europe. But I wound up meeting up with Dr. Watches. Because I knew some stuff about him, because I know some stuff from the future, and I knew some stuff about him, and I heard that he was chronicling this stuff, and I wanted some help to try to get back to my time.
And did that work?
No, it did not work.
It did not work.
But, you know,
Yeah.
it didn't work yet. Exactly.
I like this hopeful one over here.
Yeah.
That's good. So, how long have you? Where do you live now that you're stuck on Earth here? Are you stuck on Earth? Could you leave?
I am not stuck on Earth. I could leave Earth. I can't ever go back to Alanorium, my home planet.
What would happen if you did?
I would be killed immediately. It is what I think, anyways. I have never tried it, so.
Well, this session starts out on Alanorium.
But I live in the city. Did you say what city you lived in?
No. It's just
the city.
Just the city? Okay, so I also live in the city.
Yeah.
I live in the city. I live near a park in the city in just a normal, average guy apartment. I'm a really average looking. I'm very, like, base level. Yeah, and I got kicked off my planet for inciting a rebellion because I found out that my family, the royal family, was doing some bad stuff. And
the bad stuff.
Yeah,
you don't want that.
enslaving people and things like that.
Really
Bad stuff.
Oh.
And I tried to get everyone to rise up, and as a result, I was exiled.
Nice.
And now I'm here, and I still feel very strongly about, like, freedom and liberty and making sure that there's equality amongst people and things like that. So I kind of fight the small guys battles.
Sure. You feel that way, but not so strongly that you'll go back to your home planet and fix their problems. Okay, just curious.
It's a growing thing.
Okay.
So who knows?
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, just curious.
I'm young-ish.
All right. So what is it that you do? What is your day-to-day like as the wielder of the Star Axiom? Like, what is your life like?
I work in retail.
Okay. Do you smite a lot of people? Like Black Friday?
Well, I work in retail, like, really down low. Like I said, like, I've had these powers for, like, 17 years. So even though a lot of these other supers are starting to pop up and things like that, I've actually had this going on with
You're
me
a
for
veteran.
a really long time.
Yeah.
And I've just kept it under wraps and kind of distanced myself from a lot of people and things. And even though retail is totally not a distance thing, but it gives me a chance to still kind of be connected and near people and stuff, but in like a, not fighting environment, which seems kind of silly because retail, you never know. Customers.
I was going to say, you've never gotten into a fight.
Customers, right? Yeah. But it gives me a chance to, like, being in that environment gives me a chance to try to control, like, those kind of crazy urges or, turning into larger sizes, things like that. And then I also like to coach some sports on the side, so that way, like, I'm still getting some exercise and interaction and stuff. But then, other than that, like, I live completely alone and, like, in a small, dark apartment, like, in the corner of a big, large building. Yeah.
Sure.
So I'm just kind of hiding out and things like that. And, I have this awesome star axiom, and I've earned it. So, like, I have popped up here and there and, like, helped people or, stepped in when I can, but then totally have to pull back because I can't always control it.
And you've interacted with Rebel Rouser
Yes.
because of the star axiom.
Yes.
The star axiom is from my home planet.
Oh.
And was gifted to Sin Blocker for
Which I think is part of the reason you ended up on Earth. It was
'Cause-
you were drawn to the power that the star axiom was giving.
Yeah. It was definitely something where I was like, oh, this is an area where there's something going on,
Yeah.
so might as well go here,
Yeah.
right? And so
Ooh,
we've
something shiny.
Yeah, exactly. So we've interacted a few times, but
Yeah.
we're not necessarily friends yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So one of the things in the Sentinel Comics role-playing game, one of the things that's not unique to it, but it's a system that it uses for initiative or for turn order, is an elective style where somebody does a thing on their turn. If it were Paul's turn, he would describe his action, do his thing, make any rolls he needs to, and at the end of his turn, he would choose who in the scene he wants to pass it to. Be it another player, or if there's various villains, minions, lieutenants, whatever in the scene, he could pass it to any of those things that he wanted. And so we're going to do a thing like that right now. We're not in turn order or initiative or anything like that, but we're going to do a thing like that to set the scene for the story that we're about to tell right now. It is an average, what is today, Wednesday? It's an average Wednesday afternoon here in the city.
The city.
The city where we all
capital
live.
letters.
Right. Except for the T, very strange.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
The city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Silent.
and we're going to start with Dr. Watches. We're going to start back over here at the beginning. And just what are you up to? What's going on? Have you been interacting with these three recently? Are these people that you know?
I probably have been more interacting with
Transient.
With Transient.
Yeah.
How I feel my relationship with Rebel Rouser and Sin Blocker is anytime there's a sighting, I rush to that space. Where are they at? What are they doing? I chronicle I'm kind of like a watcher.
Sure. Dr. Watches.
And I chronicle their interaction with whatever they're fighting, whatever they're doing. And every once in a while, I'll step in to help, but they never like notice it because they're like in the midst of a battle.
Yeah.
And I might be like, when someone gets knocked down in my area, I'll just be like, whack. So what I think I would be doing like on this regular Wednesday is I would be trying to figure out another way to get you home. So I've got all my books because I'm a hoarder. So I have books and books and books and books in my apartment. And I have a little walking path that takes me to just a slice of a bed, and that's where I sleep. But I have a little bit of a desk, and I'm at my desk, and I'm just kind of got the radio on and the police scanner as I do, and doing my math and other weird sciences to figure out how maybe to get you home.
Great.
Excellent. And so now that you've described what you're up to, what's going on in your life currently, pass it to somebody else in the scene, which is just one of these three people.
I'm going to go ahead and throw it to Sin Blocker. It's retail day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What are you up to?
Inventory,
Where do you work?
Inventory.
What kind of store do you work in?
clothing,
Clothing.
retail.
I like that you did this to try to distance yourself from people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like my only opportunity to still not completely, to keep from completely being like a hermit and, because when am I in that mode and sure I'm by myself, things like that, I'm not challenged to hone my skills or hone like my abilities or anything like that. So like for me, that is my training ground, is to be able to be with all these different dynamics of people and
survive
energy
that.
level and survive it and not have a ragey moment.
That's legit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is some immersion training there.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, retail.
All right. So you're at work.
Yeah, I'm at work. It's inventory. I'm trying to. I'm assistant manager. You know, because
Nice.
I'm 37, I should be some kind of manager. Let's hope. And I'm doing inventory, so I'm also trying to monitor, you know, my employees and racket everything in, and also deal, you know, with this woman that came in. It was demanding something that she saw online, said it was in the store. It was not in the store.
Oh, boy.
And I'm saying, well, we're putting inventory right now. Like, if you just come back in an hour, things like that. And she's just not having it, and I'm feeling a little, you know, blue-skinned.
Uh-oh.
You know, so
Ooh.
I'm definitely trying to control, and I, you know, I'm feeling like the need to almost grab my star axiom. Like, she's really pushing me and really pushing my employees. She's being really rude, and you know, I'm just trying to like calm down the situation, but I don't think it's working out very well.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So while that's happening, which one of these two people do you want to pass it to? Either way. Great.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Because she lives nearby.
I do live nearby.
Yeah.
So I think.
Where are you right now?
I was gonna say I was in the park.
Sure, the park's fine.
Yeah, I think I'm in the park.
There's a
I'm in the
nearby park.
park
Love it.
at a hot dog stand.
Right
grabbing
across
a
the
hot
street
dog.
from the clothing store
Yeah.
in the city.
Seeing some blue glints maybe through
Yeah.
the window, thinking to
Uh-oh.
myself, "What is she? Is she working today? Is
Yeah.
that what I've seen?"
Sarah Sale.
So I'm nearby and maybe a little concerned because I can maybe see a little something, like pick
Really?
it up. Like I've got some powers of insight and intuition and things like that. So maybe I'm feeling a little something from
Okay.
her.
Maybe that you've been connected before, and so you're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
All right.
because like we do live near each other, so it makes sense that we've.
Once you live near
somewhat-
somebody, you feel their emotions.
Oh,
Yeah.
all
yeah,
the time.
100%.
So
That happens to me every day.
yeah, but mostly just chowing down on a hot dog. Can I pass it to the scene?
No.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. So I'm just going through old, like a bunch of universities and stuff that are around and old places that are clearing out their old electronics. I'm kind of going through the dumpsters of electronics and things that they're throwing away to find new materials to build stuff. to
Interesting.
help us.
Interesting.
So we can get back.
And while you're doing this, so you're
Like in an alley.
you're in an alley.
Going through a dumpster.
You're going through a dumpster,
That's what
and this is actually within a block or so of your friend Dr. Watch's Dr. Watch's apartment, and besides that, you coincidentally are just across the street from this large park, where there's also a clothing store nearby in the city.
Right.
Right, naturally, and you see a person
favorite.
walk by the alley, and there's people walk by the alley all the time, but you see a person walk by the alley that you're like, oh, a person, okay, whatever, and then you stop for a minute, and you're like, wait a minute, that person that walked by the alley, the face of that person, the look of that person, the body of that person, that was a person that I knew on the moon. That is my friend Sven. I know him very well. That's Sven. He just walked by, for sure. It had his body language, it had his face. Like, his clothes weren't quite right because he's dressed for this time, this era, this space. But that is definitely Sven, for sure. No problem, 100%.
I call out to him.
I rolled to call it. No, I'm kidding. You don't. You call it to him, and he does not even seem to hear you. He's just walking on by, just oblivious.
I'm going to follow him.
You're gonna follow him.
Yeah.
So do you like chase to try to catch up to him, or like are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
you run up to him.
Yeah.
Grab his shoulder.
Yeah.
Turn him around.
Sven, it's me. Josiah Lee.
He's clearly like, I don't know you, man. Like, why are you grabbing me? He does not recognize you at all. You see no recognition in his face, and you're looking at his face and like, this is definitely Sven, for sure. Like, but he even says, man, I don't know you, like Sven would. To someone who Sven didn't know.
Right.
And he brushes you off, and he's like, I don't know Josiah Lee. I've never seen you before in my life. You must be mistaken. Like, good luck, buddy. And he turns and he walks off down the street into the clothing store.
I'm going to kind of like sneak,
Sure.
follow him, but like I want to keep an eye on what this guy's doing.
Right.
I'm not super obvious about it. But.
Right.
Yeah.
As you're, I mean, and you're good at being
Yeah.
stealthy. So like as he goes and you're following him, when he feels like he's out of vision of anybody that like the altercation that's happened, he starts getting really like, he's looking around, he's looking over his shoulder, and like he definitely looks past you a couple times, but you're good at sneaking, no problem. You definitely stay out of sight. Like he doesn't have a shot at seeing you if you want to stay hidden.
Yeah, I do.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's looking around, and he, instead of being like, average guy walking down the street, as soon as he gets like past a certain space, he's like, oh man, ooh, that was close. Okay, sneak. Like, very suspicious acting. And he goes into the clothing store, acting suspicious. You follow him into the clothing store?
Yeah, but like sneaky.
Sneaky style, right. No one sees you into the clothing store. Very stealthy.
Yeah.
There in the clothing store, there's some altercation going on between a somewhat bedraggled-looking employee and a very furious customer who's yelling about the online stock, and if it's not on, why is it even on the online store if it's not in inventory? Like, whose job is it to do the inventory? Are you doing inventory right now? It seems like it's your job, and it's like that's very aggressive.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna hide in. You know those clothing things that are round?
Yeah,
with
I used to hide in those all the
I know.
time.
Right. I'm gonna go in.
You can hide one of those
Yeah,
and just
'cause I can,
look out through the
but no one
pants.
can see me.
Right.
Yeah, like
Yeah, you can look through the pants.
you got
That's good.
360 view.
Hiding
I
in.
love those things.
Me too.
Yeah.
I lose my daughter in them all the time.
Yeah, that's what I used to do.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I mean, not lose. Like, I find her, but
It's
Not
fine.
for,
It's
not for
not-
more than a day or two at the
no,
outside.
yeah. She definitely has water.
Yeah.
Right.
There's like
A
a
head of lettuce.
Yeah.
and a stick.
It's everything you need.
Yeah.
It's a good habitat. All right, cool, good. So everybody's got stuff that's going on. We're gonna zoom out to the person that's furthest from this clothing store altercation that's going on here. Dr. Watches. You said you were listening to the police scanner.
Yeah.
You hear you're working, and as you hear the listening to the police scanner, there's like a weird band of white noise that comes over it.
Okay.
And at first, like, it's a police scanner, so it's probably not even the nicest, newest model.
Right.
Let's
Oh,
be
it's not,
honest.
it's not.
Right.
Yeah.
You probably kludged it back together.
From the dumpsters diving that he's done.
You two are stand-up citizens.
Yeah.
You you give it like some percussive maintenance, try to
Yeah,
see if it
of course.
get it back online, and a weird voice, an alien sort of voice, comes over the police scanner, and it says there's a wrinkle in the operation, and that they might have to postpone, and they say we're worried about we don't want to go into code Delta, so.
Okay. As I'm listening to it, as I
Yeah.
hit it and I listen and that comes across, and as I look at the police scanner, how the police scanner has the channels as they run through.
Right.
Did it stop on any particular channel?
In fact, what it's doing is this weird thing where it's like oscillating through multiple channels, and yet you're getting a signal as if you're listening to one channel. It's definitely working, but it's doing this weird oscillation pattern that doesn't seem likely or probable or normal, typical, any of those other good words that you want it to be. It's one of those things.
So let me ask you this, because this is our first time playing these characters.
Yeah.
And my first time playing this game.
Yeah.
I have telepathy.
You sure do.
Ooh.
I've probably had, because of our connection, what is the range on that? Could I reach out and be like,
Right. Let me reach into somebody's mind. So here, to him. Even.
To him.
Okay.
I probably wouldn't be able to do it to them, but because of our connection, would I be able to reach out to them and say, hey, got a weird thing over the monitor.
Yeah.
Anything weird?
And it's a person you're already connected with and stuff.
Right.
Probably. What's the die size on your telepathy?
D8.
Okay, great. Yeah, definitely. So the D6, 8, 10, 12, if you said, I have a telepathy of D12, I'd be like, great, you can definitely talk to him no matter where he is. Whereas like if you're like, I have a telepathy of D4 or a D6, I'd be like, you can like let him know, hey, ping, ping. You could page him.
Right.
With it, you could reach out to him and be like, something weird. You can definitely transmit the emotion in some words of something weird's going on. What's your status?
That's exactly what I was thinking of pinging you like that. Like, hey, I just got this weird message. Anything weird happening wherever you are?
Can you feel emotions or things back from me?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you can read those.
You also like get the sense that something weird is. I also have something weird going on.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird. Yeah.
It's probably not connected.
Yeah.
That would be weird.
Right.
Right. Yeah. So you're hanging out in the park, and you
Eating a hot dog.
Yeah, eating a hot dog.
Yeah.
And you had seen,
Mustard on my shirt.
you had felt that there was some emotional thing happening with your friend in the clothing store. But do you have any sort of? You said you have intuition and.
Intuition and insight.
Intuition and insight.
Yeah.
That's a lot of words that start with in.
Yeah.
You sense that there's like a field distortion thing very similar to the device that you wear on your belt. You have a device that you wear on your belt that allows you to look very boring.
Yeah.
Like the most boring person ever. Right. And you have this device that allows you to look like that.
Yeah.
And you feel like there's some sort of weird distortion coming from the direction of this emotional turmoil. that is like that field. Like you can feel that field on you. You're very insightful and intuitional.
I can feel that stuff.
And you feel like there's something similar to that in the area of the clothing store.
And you're just like, okay. I think I have to go investigate. I have to
probably.
I have to get up on that and check it out.
Right.
Get up on it.
Get up on that weird field of distortion. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna.
fair.
She still hasn't figured out our language.
Oh man, isn't that the truth?
Right?
Real talk. Excellent.
Side notes.
Yeah. So yeah, you feel like there's something weird, wrong, different, bad.
Yeah. Do you?
Going on?
To go over there, it doesn't. I'm just gonna.
You have to roll to put one foot in front of the other. No, you just go over there.
Yeah.
Just go over there.
Okay, so I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna kind of take stock of. I'm gonna go into the store, but not like. I'm not gonna be super sneaky about it. I'm just gonna act like a regular customer. I'm just going into the store.
Yeah.
Trying to see what's up.
Interestingly, if I may stop you there.
Yes, please do.
Interestingly, this is happening at the same time as you two are in direct mental communication. And as you walk into the store, a cascade of events happens that no one here was prepared for, that no one had expected would go this way.
Okay.
When you walk through, there's a little chime from the door sensor, the like don't steal stuff sensor. And you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I steal stuff all the time.
Don't steal stuff.
I don't steal stuff. Jim Park steals stuff.
Don't, Jim Park.
Well, listen.
You were maybe exiled
He's
for
a
a reason.
rebel. Yeah.
Yeah, I do have knowledge of the criminal underworld.
You can't be like, I'm a rebel, I steal
I
this
only
lip
steal
gloss
from
from Hot Topic. Like,
big
oh, good job.
corporations. Why would he be stealing lip gloss from
mean-
Hot Topic?
It's expensive.
No, Jim Parks. It is expensive.
Does anyone know Jim Park?
Sin does.
I do.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
So as you walk through the door, there's some weird backlash between the door sensor, the device you're wearing, and the devices that 7 other aliens in this clothing store are wearing.
Oh, snap.
And the
Ruh-roh.
person that you were following, that you're currently watching, that looks like Sven,
Right.
you hear the door chime as somebody walks in, and there's like a burst of visual white noise that goes up the form of Sven, and as it goes back down, his skin is a dark maroon color. And his face looks completely different. It doesn't look like Sven at all. He doesn't even have hair. He has little like spiky tendrils that move kind of like sea anemones for hair. The lady that's yelling at you, her form changes, and she looks very different. She has the maroon skin and weird tendrily hairs, and she's at least 9 feet tall. You're not sure how it was that she looked 5'6" a minute ago, but she just takes up way more space. And several other people in the store, in various different locations of the store, all change, and they all kind of like are looking down and going, "Oh no!" And you, yes, your costume definitely fizzes out, and your green is something as well, like your the way you look. And your police scanner just goes bonkers. You're still on this weird oscillating channel, let's say, and just like abort! Everything has gone wrong. This is way beyond Code Delta.
Okay. Based on our telepathic communications, do I know where his location is?
I am really like a lot of emotion and stress coming to you.
I shut it off.
Right. Okay.
I mean,
I'm just like,
Shut it
oh,
down.
you get like a mental and emotional alarm.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I grab my London fog trench coat, and out the door I go. After I maneuver through my pathways of
Which you bought at my store.
books,
Yeah.
which I bought at your store. London fog.
I feel like I've really been accidentally facilitating your hoarding habit.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
constantly
Like
finding
bringing
weird
stuff.
technology. Like, here's a bunch of broken motherboards. You're like, ooh, this goes in the broken motherboard stack.
You're like, I bought this
Yeah.
thing. I think it could bring me to the future. Like, that's a fax machine, and I need it.
Yeah.
You might be
We're just
right.
gonna hang on to this just in
Right.
case.
Just-
I saw an episode
Yeah.
of The Office where they sent something to future Dwight.
Right.
So you 3 are in the clothing store. I actually need like a card for the clothing store. That's where we are. I should have done that ages ago. So you 3 are in the clothing store. The clothing store, which is where this scene is taking
Silent
place.
in
Yeah.
the city.
In the city.
In the city. It's the city clothing store.
Yeah.
And there are some shoppers in quotation marks. They are. It may surprise you to learn they're probably not there to shop.
Well,
And there's also the one irate customer that's right in front of you that is notably larger and angrier than all the other shoppers. And as soon as she looks down and realizes that like her costume has dissipated, she seems less upset about the online inventory thing. Like that
Should
part,
we roll about that?
she's like, oh,
Whoops.
well. And she spins around in fury and looks at the door to see, because she heard the door chime go, and she looks to see what it is.
Happened.
And there's this green-skinned figure standing in the door, and she's like, "Ew!"
Yep. I think it's time to put my armor on. Hit my other little button.
You're just like,
It's a
Wait for it. Wait for it.
Yeah. No, I think since I'm
I have a feeling you're going to go all Sailor Moon right now.
Oh my god, I wish. No, that's not appropriate for this character. I will not do that to Jim. It's gonna be a watch.
Okay.
It's gonna be a watch
Smart.
that I just hit the
You
face
get a new
of.
watch whenever you go to a new planet.
Yeah.
I hit the face of the watch, and it's like that.
Yeah, great, awesome.
Yeah.
So you got your purple armor, still green skin. Did you try to turn your device back on?
I think I don't. I think I'm like, no. Being human and not, or whatever, it doesn't matter right now.
Right.
We gotta fight aliens.
Yeah.
This is not good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Great, cool. So what we're gonna do then is we're just gonna go right into the action order. In a scene, everybody can act once, and then they pass it to somebody else. You can pass it to each other, or you can pass it to things in the scene. You can pass it to the shoppers. They're gonna act as a group. There's 6 of them in various points in the store. There's the irate customer that is talking to Sin Blocker, and it acts as a single individual thing. There's also the scene itself. The clothing store is a thing in the scene that can be passed to, and I've drawn up here a scene tracker, which I'm gonna hold up as if it's going to be seen on the camera, but it can't. It's too small. But the scene tracker here is it has boxes for G for green, Y for yellow, and R for red. Like I was saying during character creation, you have your green, yellow, red zone, which is your personal zone. The scene also has that same zones of green, yellow, and red. And when the scene is in the green zone, which it is now, it's a store. Yeah, there's some aliens, but it's a store. It's in the green zone. Then if terrible things happen in the store, it starts taking damage and it's more and more chaos, we can move into the yellow zone. When the scene moves into the yellow zone, everyone in the scene acts as if they're in the yellow zone. So even if your personal health hasn't pushed down into the yellow zone, the scene's in the yellow zone, you have access to your yellow abilities. And then similarly, the scene could go into the red zone, and in the red zone you have access to your red abilities. But if the scene goes out, that is a catastrophic failure ending. It's not necessarily the store blows up and everyone dies, but that's going to end in a way that I assure you don't want it. It is going to be a bad end for the heroes.
Yeah.
So this puts kind of a timer on the thing that's happening here, which at least you have a feeling is a far greater conspiracy than just there are some aliens that were trying to do some illicit shopping.
Right. I have
You have a feeling.
If I had a feeling and I were to talk about said feeling, your item is probably a beacon, and people want that stuff.
Maybe, perhaps. Who knows? Who knows?
Just part of why I
Not that
keep
I
it
know that.
close,
Not
and
that
I
I
don't
know
like
that.
just leave it at my apartment.
It looks like a pen.
You're not just like,
Yeah, it's like behind the desk. It's under the cash
You
register.
have an umbrella that is just
Yeah.
like wrapped around it. You're like, this is an umbrella. They're like, this is a weird, bulky, heavy umbrella. He's like, shut up.
Yeah.
don't touch it.
It was my dad's. He liked bulky umbrellas.
I bought it in Spain.
Yeah.
They make umbrellas differently there. You're not the boss of me. I don't know where that came up. So that said, we're going to go ahead and start with the irate customer. She is going to act first because she turned, saw you coming through the door, and roars out a rage of fury and charges, knocks over a couple of clothing stands on the way. Fortunately, none of the ones that you're still safe in
Or
the
small
pants.
children.
Yeah.
Or small children.
Yeah, there's no small children or displaced from time thieves hiding in the pants of the racks that are getting thrown back and forth.
Hiding in the pants.
I just like the phrase hiding in the pants so much. Like, it's such a good phrase. I just discovered, like, just now how much I like hiding in the pants. Like,
That's not good.
I'm gonna have to ask you to stop saying it. Let's
Yep.
go.
okay. So this irate customer turns and charges you, and as she runs up to you, she backhands you through the door, and you're back out into the sidewalk as you take 8 frickin' damage. So these things are minions. Minions in the game of Sentinel Comics, the role-playing game, have a single die size that they are associated with, and so So these guys are D6s. She's a D8. When they attack or do any other action, they roll their dice. So when this irate customer rolled its die, it rolled a D8. It got a maximum of 8 and did 8 damage to Rebel Rouser right out the gate. When they are attacked, when you attack them, if you attempt to attack them, if you do, you don't have to. But if you do attack them, they roll in response their die and attempt to save. And we'll see that in a bit, and I'll explain that as it happens.
I have a question.
You have a question. I will answer that question.
Okay, so I got knocked into my yellow.
Oh, beautiful. You're in the yellow
When
zone.
that happens, can I do my yellow reaction?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it says when you're attacked at close range, which I assume
That just-
pushing me through a door is.
Yeah.
Defend yourself by rolling a single
So
leaping.
you can't use it anymore because
die.
that's because you can't defend yourself.
Okay.
You've already taken the damage.
Okay, cool.
You would not
That's
be
what
able
I-
to- Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
If this was a thing that happened after the attack, it's like,
Okay.
when you're attacked, you can respond afterwards by doing this. But
Okay.
that's the thing that happens right before you're attacked because you're defending yourself against that attack.
Okay, and I wouldn't have had it because I hadn't dropped yet.
Right. Cool. Yeah. So there you go. The answer is it's situational, and in this situation, no.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Right. Cool. So that was the irate customer, and she is not going to pass it to her troops. In fact, she's going to just pass it on to you because
Okay.
that's where the story is going. And you can all choose what to do
See.
as it comes up. So in the action order, she'll pass it to you. You'll do your stuff, and then you'll pass it to either this or one of these 3 people.
I think I'm going to use electricity in close combat.
Okay.
To just try and just strike her.
Sure.
Because
Are
I've
you
been
just
pushed
doing a basic
outside.
attack, or
Say it again.
are you just doing a basic attack?
Yeah, I'm just
Okay.
doing a basic attack. So it's electricity, close combat, and then my status die is D, so it's all D8s.
Great. So you roll 3d8s and you take your mid result since it's a basic action, which is 4. Great. So you attack her with a 4. You charge up your lightning fist and just drive it into her, and she rolls her d8 response, and she rolled a 6. Now, if she were a minion, she would have succeeded at that save. And so if a minion fails, if she had rolled the 4 in an attack and had attacked one of these shoppers as a minion, and they had rolled a 1 or a 2 as their response, as their save, they would just be defeated. Like, no problem, here, knocks them out. But she rolled a 6. If she were a minion, that would mean she saves, but degrades 1 die size, and she would become a D6 minion instead of a D8 minion. However, she's not a minion. She's a lieutenant. There's various classes of opponents in this game. Minions, lieutenants, villains. Villains are full-on characters with character sheets, kind of like hero character sheets. They work differently. Minions and lieutenants work very similarly. The main difference is their hardiness, and the fact that lieutenants usually have an extra ability or 2 where minions don't. A lieutenant, when you attack it and you beat its save, it degrades instead of being defeated immediately. And when you attack it and it saves and succeeds in save, it doesn't take any damage. So you charge up your lightning fist and you drive it into this 8-foot-tall, purple, angry creature.
She was 9 foot?
Yeah, she got smaller.
She got a little smaller.
Yeah,
she got a little
she
smaller.
got smaller.
Yeah.
And
She has
change
really-
colors.
Yeah.
Slow color shifting.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. She's constantly changing in size, constantly going up and down. Constantly.
Colors.
That seems like a bunch of
Yeah.
shades.
Yeah.
Like through just the spectrum of red,
I
blue,
know where
Purple,
I'm
yeah.
violet.
Kaleidoscope.
And you drive that lightning fist into her, and she kind of looks down at your fist and looks at you and is like, doesn't seem to react at all.
Okay, so what is it? So a 6 is a save against.
Because you rolled a 4.
Because I would.
It's just,
If
she
just
beats
higher
your
or
number.
lower.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not. She's not rolling on
okay,
any sort of
cool.
chart. It's just comparing the number you rolled versus the number they rolled.
Cool.
every
That's what I
time.
wanted to know.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna pass the scene.
I'm going to tell you one quick thing before you do. In this punching of her, and you noticing that she's seemingly changing in height and seemingly changing in shade of color as you're doing this, and also maybe you're not sure if she is a member of a race of people who are immune to lightning damage, or just that she's very strong. But you're like, oh no, this is a Kalaran. This is for sure a Kalaran. I've dealt with the Kalarans before. They are angry. They are not very organized. They're just kind of like space brutes. So it's weird that there's some sort of weird covert stealth disguise operation that they were maybe attempting here. But you are pretty confident this is a Kalaran, and they have never been on Earth as far as you know.
Okay. Okay.
Do what you want.
I'm gonna pass the scene to Sin.
And so it's your turn. So I'm just going to rotate this a little bit so we know that
Is that
you've
what you
taken your
want?
action. Sure. Just a way of knowing that people have taken their turn.
Cool.
I could rotate this.
Have at her.
Okay, so I obviously see what just happened.
Right.
Because it happened right in front of me.
Right there, yeah.
And I want to call my star axiom.
How do you
and
play
like,
with Axiom? Tell me about this.
Nano.
Okay.
And then it shoots to my hand.
Right, I love it. I don't hate that at all.
And it only works if I say that. Like it won't
Naturally.
That and then that's what kind of keeps it's like a safety lock.
Right.
You know, on
Yeah.
it. So like anyone can't just grab it and then
somebody
use
else
it.
say
Yeah.
nano and it would come to them?
Yeah, but they have to know it.
And they also have to be worthy. Right?
Yeah, that too.
Because you're
Yeah.
Totally
Yeah.
worthy.
All right.
Yeah.
That's what we talked about.
Multi-levels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Part of the reason I got it was, because they saw I was worthy and then saw that, that I continued that path. And so I got to keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So you
Yeah.
would say the mystical words in an alien tongue. Yes. Right.
Yeah.
Star Axiom's in your hand. That doesn't take an
Yeah.
action or anything. You just have it. I believe you.
Awesome.
So what do you want to do?
And then I want to do my size changing. So
Oh, yeah, you're gonna get
clearly,
too. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm 5'11" normally, but
Right.
I get up to 7'5".
Love it.
Which is going to give me a little more close to eye level to this alien.
Right.
So I want to do
7 foot
that,
tall
and
alien.
then yeah. Oh, 7 foot down. Now
Apparently.
I'm a half an inch taller. So that's cool.
Dang it.
Yeah. So I want to size change, and then I want to have at her. I want to charge at her.
Sure. Right. Do you have any specific actions that you want to use for your attack, or do you want to just make a basic attack? Either way is fine.
So so I have multitask. So 2 different basic actions using my weapon.
The Star Axiom.
But yeah, Star Axiom.
Sure. So you could do that. You could run up and either boost and there's the basic actions are attack, that's dealing damage.
Okay.
Defend, that's preventing damage. Boost, that is making you or someone else stronger. Hinder, that's making someone else weaker. And overcome is the other type of action. And overcomes are challenges. There's skill checks. Like every skill check you can imagine is in the bucket of overcome. And that's
I have some overcome on my principles.
Right, but there's no overcoming in this situation. There's no specific challenges yet.
Yeah.
So I would say that a good option might be attacking her and boosting a teammate, or attacking her and hindering her, or attacking her and defending yourself. Like those are all legit options.
I want, because my personality, my principle of compassion, I want to attack her and defend her.
Okay, great. So you're gonna try to interpose yourself between.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get me, because I clearly see that nothing happened.
Great.
With her attack, so I want to hop in and get in the middle of it.
Yeah, I love it.
So my friend doesn't get hurt.
Sure.
Yeah.
So with that said,
You're welcome.
so it says you're going to use your signature weaponry. What is the die associated with your Star Axiom?
12.
12. So grab a D12, the mightiest die in this game. And what quality are you using? Sounds kind of like close combat.
Yeah, it's a close combat.
What's the die on that one?
Because I'm not at 10.
Great. So grab a D10. And what is your green zone status die? We're still in the green zone.
Green stone is 10.
Green is 10. That's great.
Yeah,
so grab
so
that 10,
another 10.
and roll those dice. And you're going to take the middle result for both an attack action against the irate customer and a defend action for Rebel Rouser.
Nice.
The mid.
Oh, a 9.
Yeah.
I got a 6.
The mid is
I
a
don't want-
6.
Yeah, mid is a 6.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's good.
that's real solid. So as you run up to this 10-foot tall magenta warrior, you take a mighty swing and also step in, blocking to defend Rebel Rouser here.
Yeah.
You have a 6, and you hit her, and the Star Axiom sinks into this 9-foot 2-inch tall Violet Kalaran, and she is wounded. She is reduced in size from a D8 to a D6, so she hits less hard and defends less well than she used to. What sort of describe the defense that you're providing to Rebel Rouser?
I'm just putting my whole body in between the two of them.
It was great.
Yeah,
Great.
I'm human shielding.
You're right. Great.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That's what I do.
So you have a defend of 6. The next time you would take damage, reduce it by 6.
Boom. That is useful.
All right, especially for somebody who got knocked into the yellow zone in the first
I'm
action.
not
of the
very
game.
strong, but I have a lot of passion.
Yeah.
So
You got heart.
I got heart.
Yeah.
All the heart.
Whatever.
Who do you want to pass it to?
Him, because I have a feeling like all that stuff going on, like he did get knocked out of it, being in the pants, but maybe there's other pants that are close to the situation.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he'd be like the closest to step in or do something. Or,
Yeah, so I'm hiding the pants, and I'm going to stay hidden in the pants. But what I think, like I see you have this fight, because I can like see through the pants over in that direction. Like look one direction through some pants, and I see you fight by the front door. I see you get hurt, and I want to
just turn into a drinking game.
First of all, like it seems like you're kind of in trouble, and I like you guys. Second of all, I really want to know what's going on, because one of these guys looks like this guy from the future who I kind of knew, and I worried about that. And I want to make sure that we can stop them from doing anything nefarious, stop you guys from getting in trouble, and also like capture them or otherwise stop them from like running away. So I want to get us some backup. I want to get us like the police to come or something like that. And so from hidden in the pants, I also know looking the other direction through the pants, I look at the counter. As a retail store in a city like this, there's going to be somewhere under the counter something like one of the buttons, like call the police kind of buttons.
Sure.
And so from
nice if stores had that.
Oh, in
inside,
our city we have that. But
right in this city,
it's very secure.
Yeah, because all the
City's
supers.
different.
Yeah,
All cities
exactly. It's like a bank. So from inside the ring of pants, I'm going to take a pants hanger, and pants hangers are shaped sort of like a boomerang.
Yeah,
right?
they sure are.
I'm going to throw one up and around the counter so that it goes around and hits that button from underneath there.
That's all right.
And try to call the police.
All right.
Just doesn't.
All of his cybernetics are doing the math.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've got a lot of.
Right.
I'm really
And it's
like a
drawing
human
out like
couldn't do
pants.
this.
No.
And then
But
how?
anyone, like a boomerang.
So tell me what power. This is an overcome check
Yeah.
to push the button.
Yeah, of course.
It's not an attack, it's not a defense, it's not a boost, it's not a hinder.
Yeah.
It's an overcome.
Right.
Tell me what power and quality you're using to use this pants hanger boomerang to push the security button on the other side of the retail counter
Yeah.
over there.
So I was going to use agility as my power.
That means
I've got a
legit.
D10 in agility.
I love
and
it.
I think that
Nice.
that makes sense.
That would
right?
help a lot.
And then since I'm interacting with the security system
Sure.
and trying to push this button in a precise way, I think technology might make sense.
That makes a lot of
Oh,
sense to
yeah.
me.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Great.
Using technology.
Yeah. And then I got a D8 because I'm in the green zone.
I love it.
Here.
The pants party.
And you said this is an overcome.
This is an overcome.
Would you say that this is a technological challenge?
I would not say
You would
that.
not. Okay,
No,
just check.
this is in fact, I would
Say
say
the
this is a
button.
mechanical challenge.
Yeah, no, that makes
because
perfect
you're
sense.
not like doing a technology thing. You're just trying to press a button.
Press a button,
So,
but like from a distance while
right.
staying inside of range.
I love giving you. So the reason that Paul asked if I said this was a technological challenge is because he has a principle that says when he's overcoming a technological challenge, he gets to use his max die, and all the heroes get a hero point. And I love giving that to players. Anytime
Yeah.
you have an overcome, and you're like, "Hey, I think it qualifies for this," make a case for it. But in this
Yeah.
case, no.
Not gonna-
Like,
not gonna.
I'd love to give that.
Yeah,
to you.
yeah.
yeah.
I gotcha.
All right.
All right.
A 2, a 6, and a 2.
A 2.
And your mid result is a 2.
It is.
Rename it.
What's the principle?
It's not a principle. It's one of her abilities.
Is it
Yeah.
which ability?
Change
is it?
in
Oh, that's change.
in
I
something.
thought it was orange. Can I?
Can I just see it real quick? Because even though I can't,
I can't read my writing.
I don't know if I can read your handwriting, but it doesn't matter.
I actually forgot to update one of my.
Yeah, I don't know what the name of your ability is. I thought you were saying.
No, I didn't change it. It's what was in the book, but I
Change-
can't read my writing.
I bet you this says change in circum, and it was short for circumstances.
Oh!
Change in circumstances.
Yep. Because I would hate to write that whole word.
This is a gorgeous
am a
book that we use to make
Yes.
our characters that I need to reference real fast.
That's good.
Yeah.
And BD.
While you do that, I am going to.
Which would make sense because change your personal zones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks. Sorry.
So,
I just rolled a 2
yes.
on this overcome.
The overcome chart. This is the boost, hinder, and overcome all use the same chart in terms of the scales, but for boost and hinder, it's like how much do you help or hurt someone. Whereas in this one, it's do you succeed, Y/N. 0 on that is a failure.
Right.
You didn't get that. That's good.
Right.
12 plus is a success beyond your wildest expectation. Success with an extra benefit. 8 to 11 is a success, definite success, no problems. 4 to 7 is a success, but with a minor twist. We talked about twists during creation, that you have twists that are inherent to yourselves. It's a success with a minor twist. However, 1 to 3 is a failure or a success with a major twist. And so,
Ooh.
Paul, I will never determine as the GM. I don't say, oh, you succeed with a major twist, or oh, you fail. No, Paul, I ask you. What do you want to do?
I'm going to succeed with a major twist.
Oh gosh, I'm shocked.
Right.
Do you have a major twist that you feel is appropriate to the situation?
I do, and I want your help with it.
Oh, please, I'd love to help.
So my principle of the gearhead has as my question for major twist. It
Yeah.
says, what machine just went terribly off the rails?
I love it.
Well, as you know, I was just digging around in the alley for all sorts of technology that looked possibly useful for going into the future. So I've got that with me. So I figure that something that I picked up in the dumpsters in the alley is problematic in some major twistological way. But I'm going to succeed in getting us the police to come.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, you are.
Good.
You definitely are. Thank you, Paul, for doing the heavy lifting for me. So, what happens is you had found some weird gadget that you had never seen the likes of this gadget on Earth before, and you've been spending the last 2 years searching this planet for some sort of gadget that can get you to the future, and fax machines won't do it, cable modems won't do it. You don't know what it's going to take here.
Right.
Those are the 2 things you've tried, and neither of them worked.
Right.
But this is a device it's not a toaster, it's not an immersion blender.
Right.
Like, you don't know what it could be.
Right.
But that is interesting to you. You're like, oh, this perhaps is what I need. And then there was this thing with Sven, and you had run off, and you're like, oh, but I should grab it. So you grabbed it and just like clipped it to your belt because you've got gadgety things.
Right, I do, yeah. I've got a jumpsuit because everyone from the future wears jumpsuits.
Of course.
And then I've got like a belt with gadgets.
Right. And you had clipped this
Well, that's a bad future.
odd device to your
Screwed.
belt. But then you were looking through the pants at the button, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna hit that button, I'm gonna take this coat hanger, and I'm gonna give it a little bendy, and I'm gonna throw it. And you do like, you can't like get up out of the pants.
Right, no.
You wanna stay secret.
Absolutely.
In the
Safe.
pants.
In the pants.
In the
In the
pants.
pants.
Yeah.
And
Secretly in
so
the pants.
you take this wire hanger, and you give it the bendy, and you try to do like this whip thing to throw it.
Yeah.
And as you whip to throw it, you succeed. It flies, and as it flies, you feel like a jerk.
Yeah.
You feel like a jerk. And you feel like a jerk because the back end of the hanger caught the edge of this device and tore it off your belt, and it went flying through the air.
Yeah.
And this boomerang with the device on it flipped into the ring. In fact, the counterweight of that device allowed it to go all the way around the counter and hit that button, and then hit the ground, and the device split open, and a giant sucking hole in time-space appears, and there is this vortex, this temporal portal in the clothing store, and stuff's just getting pulled into it.
Like all the pants.
Oh, no.
Like the pants,
They're not gonna be live.
pants go right into that hole. But also, people, like there's people that are like grabbing onto counters and
So
there's
happy I have my
shrieking and
Star
screaming.
Axie with me.
Oh my goodness, it's
Yeah,
good.
that
It's
would've
really
been
good. And you hear one of the Kalarans, which you don't know they're Kalarans,
Yeah.
but you hear one of the weird dark pink aliens holler, they somehow found the return device! In English.
Ooh.
Oddly. That part's, don't worry about that, that's comics.
They have
So-
translators on them.
Right,
Yeah.
and they're using them for our
Yeah.
benefit.
So they can complain about retail.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
That's
they
why.
got it.
How
Yeah,
else
that's
would they
why.
keep
They're
their
all
power?
Yeah, see?
She was just a distraction. She was
Yeah.
supposed to keep you distracted while the others did the
Yeah.
op.
Yeah.
But, so with all of that said, which was certainly a lot, congratulations on your success.
Thank you.
Do you want to pass it to Dr. Watches, the shopping, the shoppers, or the scene itself? The temporal portal is not a thing to be passed to. It is a challenge, and you might note here that I've written 3 checkbox on this challenge. And probably that challenge probably wants to be in some way solved, probably before something bad happens. Hard to say.
Don't get sucked in and out.
Yeah, actually, and that is actually a thing that can be passed to, the portal. So these are all, these 4 things to be passed to. The 4 of you are normally things to be passed to, although you 2 have already acted, and of course you just
Yeah.
took your turn.
Oh, thanks.
So you may pass it to Dr. Watches, or something over here.
Do you have a compelling
I have something.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I do have a comment.
Yes.
This is a thing that I know because I've played the game before. If we don't pass it to the scene will get to go twice potentially.
That's true.
Or is that a thing that we want
But
to
you could
happen
always
when we have
learn
a
from-
temp?
Terrible things happening
I
with
don't like
pants.
to lose. So I'm just gonna let everyone know that that's a thing, so that you're not shocked when that happens.
A laser dragon goes to the portal.
Exactly. I don't like to lose.
I think you should take your turn, and then we will see what happens.
Witness
Yeah.
the
We'll
hor-
witness
I like that.
the fallout.
and in fact, it is your turn to pass it to whoever you wish.
Yeah.
So,
And I think that Dr. Watches can do something super cool, and I want him to show up.
Dr. Watches,
do like-
you are listening to this scanner. There's the oscillating thing. You've heard the stuff about, oh no, this is way worse than Code Delta. You heard somebody yell about they found the return device, and then another like band kicks through the police scanner, and it says, alert, alert, we have some sort of security device tripped in the clothing store in the heart of the city by the one park.
Which
send
is right
all
by
cars.
the TV repair shop.
The one TV repair shop.
Exactly.
In my last scene, I had said that I had grabbed my trench coat and was out the door.
Yeah, because he had to step over his 24 boxes
but did you
of
take
cable
your-
modems, new in box.
I can't take the scanner because it actually plugs into the wall.
Wait, so here's the question though.
Technology.
Dr. Watches, do you, as you leave, put a walkie-talkie with a rubber band on it in front of the police scanner and take another walkie-talkie with it?
That sounds like a lot of work.
Don't worry about it.
Sounds like a thing of crazy.
It's okay. A cop car zooms by and you hear that out of the window of the cop car. That they're all, that you know the cops are on the way to the scene.
Dang, I'm going to have to run to get there. Or
You were already running, technically.
I don't run.
Walking quickly.
Dr. Watches doesn't run for any man.
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah.
Or pants.
Because
Yeah.
want to know why? Because I have no time for that. So I don't know how far away this is. I'm trying to think of because I would like to get to the space.
Sure.
Get there and
do something, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Great, you get there. It's just across the park. You know a shortcut through the park. You're heading there while some of this nonsense is happening, and thus, at the start of your turn, you are on the scene. You see there's this 10.5-foot tall.
Indigo?
Yep, indigo. Yeah. Feel free to throw out purple word suggestions. Indigo. Alien creature fighting a green-skinned, purple-armored person,
Blue skin.
No, I've got
and
vision.
also a regular-looking person who's kind of glowing blue and holding a lightning arcing halberd thing.
And 7.5 feet
I've
tall.
chronicled their deeds. I
He
recognize
knows who
them.
you are.
Yeah, so
I'm
they're
gonna walk-
fighting a purple thing.
Hey, Sid.
Purple-esque.
I'm literally
What's up,
going to walk by them
Alan?
like I don't even notice.
Hey,
What are you doing?
Yeah, I just have my trench coat on and I walk
Yeah,
on
you're
by
out.
and I walk in because I'm more concerned about him. I know that they're pretty BA.
You walk into the store and you see him nowhere.
Perfect.
All you see is pants.
That's all I've I've had this visual through
When you
our.
just see pants flying, though?
Oh, there's the pants line.
Yeah.
There's a big portal.
Yeah.
Stuff getting sucked
And I said
in.
I see these 6.
They're all throughout the store, and they're all seeming pretty panicked about the portal.
So I'm gonna use crowd control.
I love it.
My power there, where I can boost or hinder using telepathy and apply that mod against the multiple nearby targets.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna multiple nearby targets and be just like
Love it.
using telepathy. I'm gonna be like in their heads.
Yeah.
Let go.
Time to go.
Yeah.
Nice.
And kind of suggest to them
We made a
maybe this
monster.
portal is where they want to go.
Excellent. So,
idea.
make your die pool. So it says you have to use telepathy.
Yep,
So
and
that's
which is
your power.
a D8.
Great. And then what quality do you want to use? Because you roll 3.
I'm going to go ahead and use discipline.
Oh yeah, because you're like,
Yeah, I'm focused.
I'm not going to be.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get distracted by this portal or the pants.
Right.
I'm on the thing.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
being using a lot of discipline to make this
Right.
happen, and because I'm in the green,
Yep.
it's a D10.
Love it.
So
Boom. And so your mid-rolling result, a 1, a 3, and a 4, so your mid-rolling result is a 3.
3.
And like I said, the boost and hinder chart is the same in terms of values, where it's 0, 1 to 3, 4 to 7, 8 to 11, 12 plus. You got a 3, which is the 1 to 3 zone, so that is a 1, a -1. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 up at those areas. So these guys each have a -1 to their next action, which we all kind of went like, about the low number, but really a -1 to their next action or their next roll is going to be pretty notable.
Okay.
So... Good. So you come in there and you reach into their minds and you're like, I can tell because of my telepathy that they are all afraid of space spiders. And so you put visions of space spiders into their mind. What you didn't know is that they actually were all thinking about space spiders because they're all hungry and that's what they eat. And so they put space spiders in their mind and they're like, oh man, you're right, I am hungry. So they're distracted.
nice.
by their
I like
hunger.
that. Out you go.
And they're like,
Get.
lunch.
And then I will pass it to the scene.
The scene. All right. On the scene, all we're going to do is check off the scene tracker as we enter the yellow zone because there's a temporal portal. It's here. It's sucking stuff into it. It's definitely destroying the shop. You might not have a job by the time you're done here. Yeah, right. No,
Yeah,
that's
super
always
attached to
Yeah.
it.
whenever when you lose a retail job, you frequently go like, oh, that was the best thing for me.
Yeah.
Right, like
Yeah.
But this store we've definitely passed into the yellow zone, and so when we pass into the scene, we're going to just check that off and introduce any other scene elements that are necessary, such as the city cops. The city cops are now here in the scene. The clothing store has gone, but the city cops are here, and in fact, we're going to pass it to the cops. And the cops show up. There's cars pull up, and there's a bunch of cop cars that are like entering around you. And there's a sergeant gets out with the megaphone and is like, "You 3 that are fighting in front of the store, everybody, put your weapons down and get on the ground."
Yeah.
So that's just an ongoing thing you're going to have to deal with.
Cool.
Right. But they could be helpful. Okay. They're going to pass it to the temporal portal, and the temporal portal is just going to advance the scene even more by destroying things. Boy, it could really get nasty if it's going to advance once every scene round because of this, and once every round because of that.
It could get
Oh,
really
terrible. Then the temporal portal will pass it to the shoppers, who are now all thinking about delicious space spiders. But not so much that they're distracted from their task. So they're going to do a series of things. Two of them charge you. You just came to the door, went, think about spiders, and they all went, where's the spiders? Wait, who did that? Who's putting thoughts on our mind? That one, two of them are wise to you, and they're going to come at you, and they're both going to attack you.
That's fine.
So they both rolled a d6, and one of them attacks you with a 6, and one of them attacks you with a 4, but it's only a 5 and a 3.
Perfect.
As they run, they pull out of their, they're wearing jumpsuits,
Okay.
because they're aliens.
Yeah, makes sense.
And they're maybe from the future, but based on the whole jumpsuit comment that Paul made earlier. But they, out of some sort of weird extra-dimensional pack in their jumpsuits, they pull these long, oscillating, bladed weapons. That the blade, it looks kind of like a long crysknife, except that the knife is constantly wiggling.
Okay.
And it's not wiggling in a predictable way, but in an unpredictable, like it's almost alive. And they slice at you with their weird wiggly knives.
Okay.
There's an energy to it. You're like, oh, that's very bad and painful.
Sure.
So, do you have any sort of defenses, any sort of reactions?
So
or
I have brush it off.
Okay.
Which is damage reduction, 1 in the green, 2 in the yellow, 3 in the red.
Great. So you're in the yellow zone
Yep.
because of that. So you reduce it by another 2 beyond the 1 here. So this 6 becomes a 3, and that 4 becomes a 1.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Nice.
So you take only a total of 4 damage.
Perfect.
Yeah. Gross wiggle knives. Yep.
Do that.
Yeah. So that's what 2 of them do. Another 2 of them are going to start looking for where that, who threw the return device back behind the counter made this portal. So they're going to look for you. So they're going to look. They're going to look. That guy doesn't find you. He's got a -1 to what he does. He's going to look. That one doesn't find you. So 2 of them are hunting for you and have no success whatsoever.
That one's just looking at the ceiling.
I was going to have the other 2 run out the front door to help with that fight, but that fight seems like it's got a lot going on, especially with the cops. I'm going to have the other 2 look for you as well.
Okay,
like
perfect.
that's pretty. No, that's not enough. They're not allowed to take major twists. If it didn't have the -1, he would have found you. No.
Nope.
4 of them search for you to no avail.
You really are
So
stealthy.
Very well hidden.
Sneaky in the pants.
Right.
Sneaky in
Yeah.
the
And with that, oh, Maggie's so unhappy about the pants.
I am.
With that said, everything in the round has acted.
Yeah.
So we reset everything. Everybody's characters
Yeah.
are back up again, and
Thank you.
the last thing to go was the shoppers. And this is the thing that Maggie was afraid of, which is going to happen now. That it's the end of the round. The only restriction they have, they can pass it to anybody that hasn't acted. They can't pass it to themselves.
Yeah.
So they could pass it to anybody, and they're going to pass it to the portal. And the portal, because that's the thing they're all focused on is the portal. Portal's going to tear away at time space. Portal's going to pass it to the scene tracker. Scene tracker is going to tear away, is going to continue degrading. Yeah.
Now, how do we check stuff off on the portal?
You're going to have to make overcome checks to
Yeah.
succeed
Oh,
at that
okay.
challenge.
I've got
Got
a
an
plan.
idea.
Let me describe it.
I got it.
Yeah.
I think
Right.
this is going to be really
Okay.
hard though because there's 3, so like teamwork. Yeah.
The clothing store is going to pass it back to the shoppers. The shoppers all have had, they've used up that -1. They had a -1 to their next action, and it made a difference. They would have found you
Right, I know.
if it weren't for that. They would have hurt you a bunch more. The 2 of them that are knifing at you,
Yeah.
they ran up and they both knifed at you. Then one turns, puts his hand on the shoulder of the other, and takes a knife and plunges it into the ribs of his friend. And you're like, what the hell? What are you doing?
I like it.
Right, and you're like, okay, this seems good. But as the knife would go into him, instead it seems to wrap around him and put bands of energy around him. And
Foolish.
one of them boosts the other for a +2, and then that one attacks you with a +2. They're noticing that you have some damage reduction. They're like, no, we'll deal with that.
That's fine.
And he attacks you for 5, which is 7. You have a damage reduction of 2. You take 5 damage.
All right.
All right. Toot toot. Meanwhile, they continue the search. Where's Paul? Where is he? There he is!
All right.
They find you. They
find me in
find
the
you.
pants.
So one of them finds you, like, ah!
Yeah.
In the pants the whole time! And the other 2 draw their knives, and advance on you.
Awesome.
And they stab for a delightful total of 11 stabbing damage.
Right. So I actually have I reduce physical damage by 2 for each attack in the yellow zone.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So
So-
instead of 11, you only take 7 damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is still notable, but not nearly as bad.
Yeah.
And that is... So you're at 23 now? Yes, good. So you're still not in the yellow zone, except that everybody is.
So my status dice, as it just happens, are the same for everything.
Nice. They have acted, so they pass it to their boss, who takes another swing, seemingly ignoring you. Like, you come in there, you hit him hard, you dug into her shoulder with this Star Axiom. You blocked your friend, like... This should have been, you should have gotten its whole attention. And it just seems to ignore you entirely. It's like, whatever.
Yeah.
And slices again at you.
Oh.
Yeah, let's do it.
It deals you 1 damage.
I have a defense of 6.
So its damage is completely taken care of. As you block it,
Yeah.
no problem, no damage dealt.
Cool.
And with that being its turn, it's going to pass it to you. As you block the thing and you're like, no, you're fighting me. You're not fighting her, you're fighting me.
Okay. I have a area alteration
Okay.
ability, so I can boost and hinder any number of nearby targets using my nuclear and my max die.
So was in the write-up of that, did it say brackets, boost, or hinder?
No, it said boost and hinder.
Can I say
don't know.
that?
Maybe it did.
Because the area alteration, I believe, when you select it,
It's the icon is up and down.
Okay,
too.
I just want to real quick check because that came from. You are 100% right. And ignore me. That is an amazingly cool ability. That's great. So you using which power?
Max die in my nuclear.
Nuclear power. So you're just gonna.
Yeah, I'm gonna rage.
That's
I'm gonna superpower rage.
that's great. Yeah.
Love it.
So
I'm like, oh hell no.
all right. So you're
Yeah.
using nuclear for your power. What's your quality you're using for this?
For my quality, I want to use the ranged combat,
Okay.
which is only a 6, but I feel like during that whole altercation, they pushed me off the side, right, to try to attack you. And then at that point, I've got a little bit of distance, so now I like fully want to, rage and get going.
Yeah.
Hey, can I do that though? Because my star axiom, like nuclear is power, like
So you're not using the star axiom. You're
I'm using nuclear
power.
Yeah.
And then which quality? Because you got to.
I think I'm gonna change it now.
You have to use because whenever you do anything, you use one power, one quality, your
Okay,
stat
okay.
die.
So if I'm doing nuclear, then I wanna do my close combat.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. You're just going to do this like ranging
Rage,
area thing
yeah.
because you're
Because it says I can boost and hinder any number of
nearby targets.
Yeah.
So you're not in the store. You're out front of the store.
Yeah.
So these shoppers, they're not
not
close
gonna be
enough here.
affected,
But
yeah.
you can boost yourself.
Yeah.
Boost your friend and hinder.
Isn't he outside too?
No, he went inside.
Oh, we
I
do
walked
inside.
by you
Oh,
guys.
that's right.
But you
Oh,
can
that's
boost
right.
both of you and hinder this with your max die. Like that's amazing. Do that thing.
Can I boost the cops?
You can boost the cops. You can definitely boost the cops.
Yeah.
For sure you can boost the cops.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to boost the cops.
I love it.
Okay, so what do I? Let's
So
see.
what
My max die.
So
would
first
be
you got to roll your 3 dice. So you take
yeah.
your nuclear power.
nuclear
So it's a
power,
D10.
which is a 10.
Great. And then what is your close combat?
Close combat is also a 10.
Great. And you're in the yellow zone because everyone is.
Yeah, so that's a 8.
Okay. And so you roll those 3 dice and you
And
use
then,
your max.
but, and I get to pick the max. I see.
Yeah, it'll be whatever the
Yeah.
highest
Oh,
roll
okay.
is. That's what the max is.
Hopefully it's a really big number.
3.
3.
3. So a 3 on that
terrible.
track is a +1 or -1. So you give a -1, not that pen. You give
Yeah.
a -1 to
Trouble.
the big
Yeah.
angry
You've been having
person,
some trouble.
and
Yes.
Plus.
and you give a +1 to the cops.
Yeah.
What is this boost that you're creating for? Is it the lightning arcing off of it that's boosting you?
It's
or-
like just my my nuclear radiation
Like, almost
kind
like,
of
I feel like it's
like
your
marching out?
inspiration.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
You're giving
Yeah,
inspiration, to your
inspiration, yeah.
allies, and maybe a little hint of fear in the villain.
And nuclear energy.
yeah.
Yeah,
great.
because we like nuclear power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's clean.
It's like
No.
somebody turned on a bright light.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right, so you both have a nuclear inspiration +1 bonus, and you can use that. These guys, whenever they have hinders or boosts, they just use them on their next action. You guys can choose to use them as you will. When you get a hinder, it happens to your next thing. You don't have an option in that. But when you have a boost, you're like, I'm going to make this attack. Before I roll the attack, I am going to apply this boost to it. Or you're like, I'm going to wait and I'll use this on a different
okay,
thing.
okay.
So you have that ready for you for the future.
And the boost is like one-time use.
The boosts
Yeah.
are one-time use unless they are specifically persistent, which nobody has persistent boosts right now, but you have the ability to create persistent boosts. So, boosts, once you use them, they're gone, unless they're persistent. Anyway, that was
Okay.
great. Who do you want to pass it to?
You already went.
The only
No.
no one has
haven't
gone.
gone yet,
None of the three of you
You're
have
the
gone into
start of
scene.
the heroes.
Oh, am I? Okay.
Yes.
Then I want to pass it to you.
Are your fellow heroes
Yeah.
or the cops who are the real
'Cause,
heroes?
Alan's out there with me in this whole situation. So it's like I did like a supercharge this. It's like, okay, now it's your turn to come in and get some stuff done.
You're boosted up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Tell me
so
what you're doing.
I'm thinking.
Terrible pastime.
Indeed. Oh wait, I know. It's
dangerous.
Okay, so I've got a D8 for my health. I'm gonna use weather, which is another D8, and then I'm gonna use close combat, which is another D8, and I'm gonna keep. Can I get around her without fighting her?
Sure.
Okay.
If you
I'd actually rather go
because,
take care of the temporal portal.
Yeah, especially because the Sin Blocker is occupying all of the
Is
Stellaris'
blocking.
attention.
Yeah.
Right. So you can definitely just walk away from this
Yeah.
fight.
Okay, I'm gonna go over to the
And
temporal
leave your
portal.
friend
Don't
to
say
die.
it like
Fighting.
that. I'm gonna use
okay.
Principle of Chaos.
Sure.
Overcome a
Naturally.
situation in a way that is truly unpredictable, and use your max die, gain HP.
So tell me.
Everyone gains a hero
Everybody
point.
gets a hero
Sorry,
point. You don't
again.
get HP.
Yeah.
So tell me the truly unpredictable way that you're solving this temporal portal, and if I predict what you're doing, you don't get it.
Do you wait? You have to make a prediction first,
I
don't
have.
you? No, you have to say it out loud.
No, because then you'll just say something else.
Okay.
Trust me.
So it's behind a counter. I'm walking in the store.
Yeah.
I am going to slide across the counter and
Nice.
just kick it.
You're going to
Just
kick the portal. This is not a physical.
It doesn't have its metal thing around it or anything?
So the metal device didn't ka-tunk,
fell
it's there,
apart.
and
Okay.
the metal device broke and
Okay.
tore a hole in space-time.
Oh, okay.
There's nothing creating this hole.
Like as
Okay.
if like a crystal.
So how are you?
Thinking.
Yeah.
Hang
Yeah.
on. Okay. I am gonna still slide across the counter because
Of
that's
course,
a real cool move.
You gotta slide across the
Slide
counter. We're
across
all
the counter,
agreed there.
And I'm gonna hit it with a really strong electrical charge.
Yeah.
To try and
Nice.
push it down.
Pulse it.
It's not super
Yeah.
unpredictable considering that you're person lightning. Like, I agree.
I know.
The
Hang
slide
on.
across the counter is good, but you need to give me something that comes out of nowhere.
Yeah. Hang on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Dig
am
deep.
going to use my weather
Okay.
to create a fire tornado.
A fire tornado.
That's going to try and engulf it and
Yeah.
suck it. I don't know if oxygen is involved.
Man, I
in
really
this.
hope that you roll with a twist involved because you're giving me a fire tornado. But let's do this. No, I love the idea.
Unpredictable?
You're creating a fire tornado because the fire tornado is trying to suck oxygen into it. The
Yeah.
portal's trying to suck everything into it, and you're creating an opposing force to diminish the portal.
Yes, that's
I-
it.
I could not have
That is
predicted
what
that.
I'm doing.
Because I
Yeah.
think it's a bad idea.
And it's,
Your max die is a 5.
5.
my max die is a 5.
Yeah.
So you succeed. You
That would have
Alright.
been real bad if I didn't.
You succeed, and you definitely weaken the portal. The portal's
Okay.
still up. It's still dangerous. There's people shrieking and screaming as they get pulled closer and closer to the portal. Everybody does get a hero point.
Yeah.
So if you look at the front of your character sheet in the bottom left-hand corner, there is a thing that says hero points. And you've earned 1. You can earn a maximum of 5 in a session. You fill those little bubbles in however you want to. If you want to do it voting style and fill it all in nicely,
I
you can.
do.
If you want to just write a little check mark or a smiley
I'm-
face,
Like in tests.
yeah. You will be graded on this game.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So you create this fire tornado.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. And it definitely is an opposing force against the portal, but also you've created a fire tornado here.
I'm in control. It's fine.
You're not. That's the trick.
You don't know that.
I do, because you got a minor twist.
Oh, I got a minor
You
twist.
sure did.
I forgot about that.
I did not.
Yeah. Wait, I can pick it though, can I?
So do you have a thing you want to do with this minor twist?
Maybe.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna see if I can do something better than what you're gonna do.
It still needs to be...
Okay, no. How did I become temporarily trapped? I'm trapped by this fire tornado. Okay, fine. You do it. You're right. I know.
You created the minor twist when you said, before even rolling, I'm putting a fire tornado in the clothing store.
What if you got your foot stuck on the counter when you were sliding across it?
Yeah. I was
That's how you got trapped.
temporarily.
I am fine with you being temporarily trapped. You won't like it.
Oh wait.
I'm going to tell you this. You're going to lose control of your fire tornado, and in an attempt to stop it so that it doesn't kill everybody, which you succeed at, you're going to take 3 fire damage. Or you can come up with whatever nonsense you want to say.
Nah, I'll do that.
That's fine.
fair.
I'm not here to make you lose, Maggie. But I'm also, when there's a minor twist, it's going to get twisty.
It's gonna get twisty.
Like a fire tornado?
Who do you want to pass it to? You can't pass it to Sin Blocker.
yeah.
You can't pass it to anything here except for the cops, or you can pass it to either of these two.
I'm gonna pass it to Transient.
Sure.
Feel like you got
You're-
some
yeah.
stuff
So you're out of
up
the
your
pants.
sleeves.
Yeah, I'm out of the pants. There's some guys
You're
that have been
surrounded
like,
by
Pants are off.
like there,
shoppers.
yeah. So what I want to do is, I'm going to really quickly here take some of my gadgets and technology that I have with me, and assemble a tool that is going to help me be able to like address the situation really well.
Yeah.
Right.
Love it.
So I am going to boost myself using my gadgets.
Yeah, I was like,
Technology.
undress the situation?
With pants. Right. And so I'm going to use gadgets, which is a D10.
Love it.
And technology, which is a D10, and then this is the yellow zone, which in my case is a D8.
You're just hoarding
So
dice.
I'm gonna boost that, and
Hoard
so I'm gonna use my max die for this boost,
Oh, great.
and so that is going to be an 8.
A 9.
Oh, a 9
9.
over here. Wow. So a 9.
Nice.
So the same on the chart.
Who's fine? Yeah.
Yeah. So that is a +3.
And it's persistent and exclusive.
That's fantastic. Tell me what thing
Nice.
you've made.
So it is some sort of gadget. It takes various future technology with various things I found in a dumpster.
Sure.
And maybe a pants hanger.
Right, naturally.
Yeah. So like, it's cool looking.
I'm really excited to see what this is going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll find out, but you have a Pantsinator +3.
The Pantsinator +3.
Nice.
Yeah.
And now, as part of this same action here, I can attack one of these guys that's near me using my min die and this boost.
You get to use the Pantsinator?
Yeah, I get to use the Pantsinator.
Fancy, your
So
min die,
it's a
you roll
4.
A 4
Plus
plus
3.
the Pantsinator. It's a
So
7.
7.
He rolls
Nice.
a d6 and can't possibly make a 7, and so he's just destroyed. You just obliterate the one that found you in the pants.
Nice.
Gone. Gone.
And now I've got this
take that,
Pantsinator that I can keep using.
Right?
And I really want to use the Pantsinator to fix this portal.
I want you to do that too because we're going to have an untimely end otherwise.
Right.
You passing it to me? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes.
So these two struck me, and one of them's banded up.
Yeah, one of them's got these like weird boosts.
I don't like that guy.
Yeah, no.
And I want to let him know that time's up. So I grab him by the head,
Yeah.
and I'm going to do that.
Oh, yeah, there's a squishy
Crush.
thing because you got the crushing.
I have the crushing,
You
but
have the
I'm not going to.
He has the crushing. He has an ability called the crushing.
Yeah.
Is that what you really named it?
Yeah.
I love it. Okay.
It's density.
Did you not watch the character creation video?
It's,
And if you didn't, make sure you do.
Attack using density control, and I use my max dice.
I love it. Oh,
So-
you're gonna affect the density of his head.
Head.
Oh no!
Oh.
All right,
That's
so
neat. So it's a-
density control, and then what's your
It's D8.
quality for this?
It's D8.
Yeah.
Because that's density control is D8. I'm going to again use discipline.
Sure.
Because I'm very focused on my wanting to do this
You're reaching into your powers and using them in a very specific, gross way.
gross
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm not being
like
judgy.
an
I just think
egg.
what you're doing is gross.
Yeah, it's super gross. And we're going to crush them.
Crush him.
Oh.
A 7.
And
Nice.
yes, a 7 is the using my max dice.
All right, he rolls his d6 against your 7 and can't possibly make it, and you crush his
right.
head. And the head, as it shrinks and it gets crushed, it kind of like fights off against it and like tears at his head. And then there's and it's
I look at
it's like
his,
a grape.
and I look at his companion, and I'm like, I think you might want to check the status of your time here, sir.
And he goes, no, you might want to workshop that one.
Yeah.
Can't all
just-
be winners.
Yeah, no, just like some feedback.
Don't need an egg
I like
timer
your whole
to crack
aesthetic
that
here,
egg.
man, but that
Oh,
one.
that's a good one. Yeah.
All right, would you like to pass it to the cops?
No, but I
Too
will.
bad. You pass it to the cops, and the cops, like they were like, hey, everybody, stop fighting and put your weapons on the ground. And you guys all went, what if we keep fighting? And you're like, well,
Yeah.
forget this, and went into the store.
Meanwhile, I'm all right.
And so they all are leveling weapons, and they're pointing at you, and they're like, you need to stop what you're doing. You're destroying things. Also, something's going on in the shop. We're going to shut this whole area down. And they start bringing out these devices, these big look like spotlight devices, and they turn on these spotlight devices on you guys, and you're like, oh shoot, these are the city has all these supers that you've been cataloging, you've been seeing. They have these like power dampening fields they've been putting out because they are worried about all the cops have to do a thing, and so they are going to. That boost you gave them ended up not mattering to this. They give a -1 to the Kalaran, who already has a -1, and they also give a -1 to you, because you're the two that are still there. They put this beam on the two of you, and you are dampened, which is a rough word, because it makes it look... dampened seems a lot like moistened, but it's not. It's dampened. Yeah, right. So you're slightly dampened. Your dampened status and your nuclear inspiration cancel each other out. So, c'est la vie. Like, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, thank you.
I got that for you.
I love cards. I go through so many note cards. I should have bought stock in note cards before I made this game. That's them.
Okay.
They end the scene. So the scene starts anew with me. Oh, it's me. But I'm going to be kind. I'm only going to do the environmental things. The cops just did a thing, so they're going to pass it to the... Oh, no, that doesn't check off. They're going to pass it to the portal.
Oh, no.
The portal is tearing at the building, and in fact, we're into the final checkbox of the scene tracker as the whole building... You hear, everybody's inside the building, you hear creaking as the girders in the ceiling of the building are pulled in towards this portal.
So now we're in the red zone.
Bad, and they're going to pass it to transient. Yes, you are all in the red zone. Like, whoa.
Whoa.
And if you don't solve this portal, things are definitely going to be problematic. Thank you for
I thought
doing
he was going to make a time joke, and he didn't.
No,
so.
I'm not doing the time stuff. Thank you for doing a major twist early on in the scene.
No problem.
I love it.
So I'm going to, in the red zone, I'm going to rush over to the portal.
Yeah.
And I am going to... So is it true, looking at this portal, that like this is going to the future? Can I tell that because of my knowledge of the future?
You can tell. When the thing broke apart,
Yeah.
you know as much, if not more, about technology than you do about the next 200 plus years.
Right.
Like really, the next 200 years, you're figuring that out.
Right.
But technology, you know a lot. You know, A, this was future technology.
Yeah.
B, this was a device to go to the future.
Perfect.
C, it has horribly malfunctioned.
Right.
It is not a portal to the future. It seems like it's a portal to no when. Like,
okay.
This portal is bad, and it is just it's the time space equivalent of a black hole.
Right. Perfect.
And it's full of pants.
Yes, perfect.
So what I'm asking is, like, when I look at it, I'm going to use my pantsinator that I made for sure to help like close this portal.
Yes.
But I'm wondering if my history, my history, which in my case is specifically related to knowledge of like future history, like
the
and
future technology.
Like, is my knowledge of the future more useful? So is this a challenge? Because I want to overcome a challenge.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
And I really ideally want to use one of my principles.
Yes.
And I'm trying to figure out if I should use my knowledge of possible futures or my knowledge of technology.
Futures.
Okay, cool.
Because you know that one possible future that you have interacted with before is nothingness.
Awesome.
And that's what we're looking at.
Good, that's what I was hoping.
Yes.
So then I'm going to use gadgets, and then I'm going to use history, and then I'm going to use the red zone here.
Yeah.
Now, I do happen to be in the red zone now, and I've got this inherent ability that says as long as I have at least one bonus created from technology, which I do with the pantsinator, then I treat my gadgets die as one size higher, which will make it a D12.
Great. And also, you have another inherent ability in the red zone that you're going to get to use after you make your roll.
Yeah, which is that I can reroll my min die before I use my thing.
So we're feeling good. So you get a 12?
And then 2d8s.
2d8s.
Yeah.
You have a +3 for the pantsinator because you are using it.
Correct, absolutely.
Roll away.
And then I get to reroll my min die, and I can use my max.
Yes.
Yeah, so.
So your min die is a 2. You may re-roll it if you wish.
Although, since I'm using my max.
Right. And you got worse. You got worse. That's terrible. So you have an 11.
11. So I'm going to use my max die, 11 plus 3. So that's 14.
That is correct.
Right there.
12 plus on the scale is overwhelmingly success.
Right. And can I use that to achieve 2 successes simultaneously?
Yeah, absolutely. So you run out of this portal, and like the portal had been disrupted by a fire tornado, and so it was now like unstable. And you run up to it, and you're like, yes. I encountered this before. It was one time that we tried to go to the future, and it didn't work out so much. And all I'd have to do is, and you do a bunch of like weird science future things, and the portal snaps shut, and everybody's eardrums do that thing. You're like, okay, that's probably good. So.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well done.
Nice.
Everyone gets a hero point because that was one of your
Yay.
And now we still have to deal with these guys before the scene, but like before this turn.
But the temporal portal that was definitely going to destroy this store, if not the city, if not the world, is closed. So good job stopping that. Did you want to pass it to the person who just said, I got it?
Yes, I do.
I actually don't know if I got it, so do you want me to ask this question first?
Ask a question.
Okay, so I've got my cloud buddies.
Cloud buddies.
Do I create them and then on my next turn
They
they
act.
act? So I can't create them and have them act on the same turn?
Correct.
Well then, I less got it, but I do have some things that affect multiple targets.
So there's 4 of them in the store. There's 1 of them out front of the store.
Yeah.
The one out front of the store has 2 -1s. You might want to pass it to Sin Blocker.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Do you want to take care of your...
The problem is I have dampeners on me.
Well,
No,
but,
right?
but the dampeners would cost just took away the inspiration you had.
Oh, that's right.
So you're fine.
So canceled.
Yeah. Right. The thing is, the
So I'm
dampeners.
still good.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
You're
Okay.
at normal style
But
right
but
now.
the dampener did affect them, so
yeah. So they have a
they're
-2
even
to
weaker.
their roll.
Okay.
Which is great.
Well, I want to just go ahead and whack them.
Whack 'em hard.
Take their head off.
Yeah. What is your
Yeah.
strongest, best attack ability that you have? You're in the red zone. Do you have any really cool red zone attack abilities?
I have heroic sacrifice and then improved immunity.
Improved immunity doesn't sound like it's going to help you in a fight. What does heroic
No.
sacrifice sound like?
That means when an opponent attacks you, you may become the target of the attack and defend
okay.
by rolling. Yeah.
Okay, so you don't need that either.
Yeah.
Do you have anything in the yellow zone that's a big old hit?
Yeah, let's see. Reflective burst. Reflexive.
That's the thing you do in response to something else.
Yeah,
probably,
and then the area alteration,
Yeah.
and then imitation. So I can use a green action ability of a nearby ally. So is he close enough to use telepathy that I can distract
I don't know that
that bad guy and
I mean,
then
sure,
chop their head
but
off?
I don't know that that's better than you just doing
Yeah.
your multitask
Yeah.
thing.
I think
and you do the multitask and
Multitask is in the green.
yeah, but you're in the green. You always have access to your green, red, yellow.
Oh.
So like when you're in the red zone,
Okay.
you have access to all of your abilities.
Okay.
When you're in the yellow zone, you have access to your yellow and green. When you're in the green zone, you only have access to your green abilities. So in this case, you have everything, and that multitask ability
It's really good.
just make a big old.
I think what I want to do is I want to go in and try to take off their head.
Sure.
And then I want to use the surprise results.
Okay, what is the surprise results ability?
It's
do?
a reaction.
Yeah.
After rolling your dice pool for your turn, you may lose 1 hit point to re-roll your entire pool.
Oh, okay. So you will see if you need to do that.
Yeah.
So you're making a basic attack, but if you don't get the results you want, you'll roll it again.
Yeah.
Love
So
it.
you get 2
Yeah.
chances
So-
for a really big
Yeah.
success.
So you're using your star axiom.
Star axiom.
Love it.
Which is at 12.
Right, and then you are using what's your close combat probably? I don't know.
Yeah, close combat.
Yeah. And then you're in the red zone right now.
So 8.
All right.
Okay.
So just roll really high numbers, and you don't even have to surprise
Yeah.
results. That's actually really good.
Oh, wow.
That's
Yeah.
a 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you just destroy it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Kaboom. Destroy
Yay.
it.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's essentially a 4
Bye-bye
right now.
head.
So yeah, you destroy this lieutenant. You chop the head off
Chop
of
the head off.
the person that was
Always go for
yelling
the head.
at you about
Yeah.
the stock being wrong.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
yeah, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Coop on this.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
the customer's never right.
Yeah.
Keep off. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Who do you want to pass it to? You've got Dr. Watches.
Oh,
you've got Rebel Rouser.
And these guys.
And these guys, but I don't suggest them.
Yeah.
Just personally.
I'm going to go Dr. Watches.
Dr. Watches, can you clean house here?
Okay, so
Because you just cracked some eggs.
we can do anything. We can attempt to do anything.
Can't attempt to do anything.
Yeah.
Tell me what you want to do.
I want to do a multiple attack.
Okay. Do you have
using
any of your...
forbidden knowledge?
Okay, so Forbidden Knowledge only normally attacks one target?
Okay, it says attack. All it says is attack using
Right,
magical lore.
and so that means only one
right.
target. So they're right. So the abilities they do what they say in the text. Some of them let you do a thing. So that's really good for knocking down one really big beefy target.
Right.
These guys, you probably want to be able to hit more than one because you could take them out. So rather than doing Forbidden Knowledge, you could instead do what's called a risky action. Basic actions, as we talked about, the actions are attack, defend, boost, hinder, overcome. A risky action is doing any one of those actions with an additional thing of some sort that you and the GM decide at the cost of a minor twist. The minor twist happens after, and a minor twist will never negate your success. And the minor twists are not near as bad as major twists, as we saw. So in this case, if you wanted to say, look, what I want to do is make a basic attack, but the extra thing I want to add to it is I want to have it hit 2 targets. You could do that, hit 2 targets. You'll take a minor twist afterwards.
I can also hit 2 targets.
Yes.
Okay.
Just so
you
you
can each
know.
take a
So like
attack.
the
you
two
can
is
take out 2
fine.
targets.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I have the ability to it, but actually, it's
Okay.
And that's teamwork.
Then yeah, I want to do that.
Okay, great. So
I'm gonna
power quality status.
I'm gonna use telekinesis,
Sure.
magical lore,
Yeah.
and
You're in the red zone,
so
so
it's
D8.
a D10, D8, and a D12.
Nice.
And so basically, I'm gonna do 2 symbols
Yeah.
and telekinesis to blast them through the
I love
bad
it.
guys.
Let's roll it, and then we'll deal with the twist afterwards.
All right.
How bad can it be? Your mid looks like it's a 7.
7.
Great. They both roll their d6 and they both fail against it. You
Yay.
obliterate both of them with
Good
your
job.
magics.
Nice.
But at what cost, Ray?
Well, it is.
At what cost?
What goes wrong with my defenses?
Oh!
And I have a lot of defensive
That is
abilities.
true. In fact, the thing that goes wrong do you have an answer to this question, or do you want to do it?
So I already have like where I can brush stuff off, and like right now because we are in the red, I can brush off 3.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like that whole part of me right now is like negated.
I love it. So the
Yeah.
thing you do, you draw these sigils and you push them forward, and you're like, oh no, we have to deal with these guys. You're desperate.
yeah,
You
I
reach
put my
for-
own energy into it.
You
Yeah.
reach for a source of power and you push your energy forward, and as you do, you feel it leave you, and you feel the air on your skin like you haven't in a couple of years.
yeah.
You're like, oh, you do not have access to your brush it off ability until you do something to recover it.
Okay. Cool.
Not too bad. I mean, that sucks, but still not too bad.
Minor twist.
It's not a portal.
Yeah, exactly.
The nice thing about minor twist, but major twist. But the nice thing about minor twist is some of them are things that, like the fire tornado dealing her damage as well, are things that like, okay, this happens right now in the scene, great. Other things I'll be like, this is a little wrinkle that doesn't really affect the scene one way or another, but it is going to continue being a wrinkle, and I might
Until it
make
gets fixed.
Rick go on some sort of side quest to go get that back.
Yeah.
Ooh, neat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I have live dangerously.
Okay.
Attack multiple targets using weather. Take damage equal to your max. It doesn't say. It says attack multiple targets, but it doesn't say if I'm using my max or my min.
Then you would be using your mid.
It's always that. Okay.
Unless it says otherwise, the standard is
Mid.
So
Okay. I think that's
you're
still.
gonna live dangerously.
I'm gonna live dangerously. That's still my best option.
Without-
That's
Actually, I
awesome.
guess I could do attack up to 2 targets using electricity. Use your
Yeah.
min die, but
Since-
that's not better. Never mind.
Yeah, this one gets to use your mid die, and besides, you've got plenty of health. You have 15 health. You're not gonna roll higher than 15.
I'm gonna do +1.
And that +1 is going to go to
Perfect.
the effect die, not to the max die.
Yeah.
So your max die is a 6. And so you're going to take 6 damage.
Yeah.
Your 4 is your mid die, and you have a +1. The nuclear
Yeah.
inspiration you put into this attack as well. And so you have a 5 against each of these. They both roll their defense, and one of them is destroyed. One of them rolls a 6 and is weakened. So one of them is down to being a D4. But then you pass it to the cops.
Yeah.
And they run in the door and they arrest that guy.
Yeah.
Because we wanted them to get one
But
guy.
we wanted them to
Yeah.
get
You
so-
weakened him enough. You weakened him enough that he's on his last legs. He's like, oh no, the weather, it's balmy.
I guess I didn't say what weather effect
sure
I was gonna
didn't.
do.
balmy.
It's-
Exceedingly
It went from
balmy.
fire,
Yeah,
fire
it's-
tornado to
yeah.
You made it
chilly
very,
outside.
very pleasant in 72.
He just
Yeah.
runs in. They slap some bracelets on this last Kalaran.
What's his name?
Joel, and but it's
a good alien name.
It's spelled JO''EL.
Oh, nice.
But he just pronounces it Joel. Don't be weird.
Yeah.
But so they arrest him, and he will be available for questioning later, because I'm sure some of you might have some questions about what Kalarans are doing here, or what that technology was, or what they were doing to the police band, or why they were going after your very important star axiom. So, but that said, you save the day. The cops recognize it, like, oh, we get it. You guys are doing the hero thing.
Yeah.
This store is wrecked. Is this your fault? Did you guys didn't create this portal, did you?
Absolutely not.
didn't
That
do
fire
anything.
tornado was here when I got
Listen,
here.
sir,
You didn't do anything that would
I'm the
have caused the
manager
portal.
here,
Oh,
actually,
it
so,
was-
you know.
Are you
I
an
was just-
alien?
No.
Okay.
This is just really cool makeup.
Legit. You heroes are weird.
I heard there's a cosplay con around the corner. I
Yeah.
think that's what that is.
Do you try to turn your thing back on?
No, I think that while I'm in my costume, I'm just gonna sit tight
it.
and not act like it's weird for me.
Okay.
Because I think if I act like it's weird for me, people will be like, "Yeah, you are an alien."
Yeah.
Later. Do you try to turn your thing back on?
That
Yeah,
was
I
great.
do.
It doesn't work.
This is bad.
It's on the fritz.
Looks like we're gonna be friends. Yeah.
He's going
I'll-
to gadget you up. And
Yeah.
fix you up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I should be able to.
That was a flash forward. It's like a flash back, but the other direction.
Yeah.
To later.
I like the music involved.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Excellent. So, there you go. That is your first scene, but there's clearly something greater afoot here. We'll have to find out next time.
I like it. Very cool. Well, thank you so
That
much,
was
Chris.
so much fun.
I'm glad you had fun.
That
Good
was
job,
really
everybody.
fun.
You guys.
I love the twists and all the, you
Oh
know.
yeah, the twists are great. That's where
I
everything.
liked.
And I like the fact that like you give us the option instead of just being like on the DM. I'm gonna tell you what horrible thing is gonna happen. You have
Yeah.
no choice. Blah blah
Right.
blah.
Right.
Like
We tell our
okay,
story.
so
Yeah.
here like You know, like a good comic, you have, if I take this road, XYZ is going to happen. If I take this one, this is going to happen.
Yeah.
So, like, that's really cool.
I like the writer's room effect as well.
Yes,
Of being like, let's, like, this seems like a sweet thing that would happen in this comic book. Yeah.
What is our collected trade?
Pants?
Right, so if you go to, not a collected trade, if you go to your back issue section in the middle of the bottom of your character sheet, it has a section where there's back issues. After playing a session of the game, which we did, it is an issue of the game. So what is the name of the comic and what is the number of the issue? Is this a new comic about a new team?
Yeah.
I think it is. I think this is our final.
And this issue is called The Heroes of the Traveling Pants. Or Time Traveling Pants.
Time traveling pants.
Time traveling.
I'm not against it. Collected trades is your stories.
Collected trades is once you've done 6 back issues, you remove all 6 back issues, collect them into a trade, hence collected trades.
Yeah.
And then that essentially that's the advancement mechanic for the game.
Okay, I had a question. That you remember I got to create like my own backstory,
Right?
And like one issue of my comic or something.
No. So, there's a thing where the characters that have played through a series of things will have those. So established characters, like the characters that are in the book, will frequently have collected trades, but you don't start out with a collected trade of your own.
Unless you're making a character that is playing with more characters that are more advanced already.
Yeah.
So
we did that before in the other session.
That's what I was.
We did that in the live stream before to show off that mechanic.
Okay, cool.
But in normal, you make a brand new character. You don't start with any collected trades. You gain them over time.
That makes more sense then.
Yep. No worries.
All right, so I do have a question about the game.
Yeah.
Like most role-playing games, you do advance.
I mean,
Yes, there is
Become
advancement.
more powerful, or hit more hit points, whatever.
So
how does that work in this?
So advancement in this is not so much about advancement of power, because if you look at comic book stories, it's not about these heroes over time are leveling up. Like that's not a superhero story. There's rather changes in who that character is, changes in personality, but also changes in their way their powers work. And I get better at this, but I have to leave this behind. I forget this part of my story. I gain a new part of my story. And so that's why whenever advancement is occurring, there are ways that you can tweak your character that involves switching out abilities, changing powers, moving dice around, and like I was telling Maggie about the collected trades and the issues, you gain in strength as you because the thing that measures your experience is literally your experiences, is the stories that you've been in, the stories you've played. So as you play more stories, as you play more issues of Sentinel Comics, the role-playing game, you collect those back issues, you eventually roll all those back issues to collected trades, and then each of your collected trades can be marked off once a session to do a thing, either maximize a die in a die pool, so you go, okay, I'm going to roll my dice, and before I check my min-mid-max, I got a 2, a 5, and a 6, I'm going to turn the 2 into an 8, so my spread is instead of 5, a 6, and an 8, and now I'm going to take one of those. You can use a collected trade for that. You can use a collected trade to pay for a twist. When a twist would come up, you'd be like, no. Remember that one time? Editor's note, see issue such and such. Remember that one time I collected trade? Because of that, there's not a twist here because I have experience in this realm. And then the other one is you can use it to create a bit of story fiction. This is a thing that's less mechanical and more experiential, to where we had a game where there was a character that was running down a hallway in an alien spaceship, and they're like trying to figure out what's going on, and they're like, oh, well, in my back issues here, in my collected trade, there was that one time where I was in an alien spaceship that was similar to this, and behind these wall panels there were computers that we could hack into the system with, and I'm like, sure enough, that's true. That's not a thing that I'd ever planned for, but it doesn't matter. You spent the collected trade on it, you add it to the story. It has to be a thing that you and the GM agree on. You can't be like, oh, well, in this story, I have 7 swords. Like, that's weird, okay.
How are you holding them?
Right, with my extra arms. So so advancement is a thing that happens in terms of story advancement, and in terms of you get some bonuses, but it's not the, like, leveling curve system of other pen and paper RPGs.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more about comic books.
So, do we want to go with that?
I wrote it down.
Heroes of
the Traveling Pants.
Yeah.
And do we want to call that an ash can issue?
Yeah, we can see that essentially these issues will all later get collected into a trade, and you'll have to name that trade. And that trade will probably have the name that is like the imprint of the team or whatever, if you ever get to being a team. Right now, you're a loose association of heroes that all know each other, and you're dealing with this thing. What will that evolve to over time? We'll find out.
Okay.
Do you get bonus points for not having any damage?
No, stop bragging.
That's really good.
That is very good. But you all did get 2 hero points over the course of that session. And those hero points, hang on to those. We'll use those at the start of a session. This is also micro advancements that happens between sessions, that any hero points you had from a previous session, you cash in for bonuses on the next session that have to do with the story in the previous one. So you're like, oh, if you're like, I'm going to keep my Pantsinator, now you only got 2 hero points, so you could make a Pantsinator +2. So you'd be like, look, the Pantsinator got damaged in the portal closing.
Right, yeah.
But I'm going to hang on to it as a plus
Right.
2. You could do that.
Yeah.
Or you could be like, oh, I got something from these aliens, or I learned something about the way I do a thing. Like those bonuses, you can evoke them in different ways.
Neato.
So,
All right, cool.
any other questions?
No.
I think we're good.
Thank you all so much for playing. I had a blast.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
It was really fun.
Thank you for joining us for this issue of Sentinel Comics, the role-playing game. To find out more about Sentinel Comics and other great games, check out greaterthangames.com and follow us on social media. Thanks to Game Trade Media for playing with us today, and to all of you for watching.
Thanks for watching Game Trade Media. Make sure to leave us a like and click that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any new content.